Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and it's game week 7 in a Liga. This is the last weekend before the international break, so it is quite an important weekend. All the teams would want to go into the international break with a high momentum, with high spirits, and especially a majority of the points that they can get from theirs. Last weekend was quite interesting. A bit of a couple of shocking results. Auxerre winning against Brest, although I predicted that I thought that Brest were going to lose, and they lost. And then the biggest one, Marseille losing to Strasbourg, like that nobody really saw that coming. So you can expect a similar sort of shocking results this weekend as well. As I said last weekend before the international break, so all the teams would want to make sure that they end this term of football before the international break on a high. So let's go ahead and make our predictions. The first game is Marseille versus Angers. It's third versus 20th, third versus 18th. And as I said, Marseille they lost last weekend against Strasbourg. Like nobody really saw that coming. They were on a real high. Marseille, they were undefeated going into that game, joint top at the top of the table alongside PSG and Monaco. And then they go there and they lose that game. As I said, it was quite a shocking result, and the performance, to be very honest with you, it was there. It's not like they did not play really good football. I just think that first half is what that really caused them. It was not the same Marseille in that first half. In the second half, it was the Marseille that has been playing the good football, attacking football for the first half till now in the season. That first half was something else, and I think that cost them the game. Angers, on the other hand, I mean, it is basically what everybody expected. Six games gone now, and they are still winless in the league. 4 defeats out of those 6 games. They were, before last weekend, they had drawn 2 consecutive games, but they lost last weekend, and I think it is gonna continue for them. They are gonna suffer another defeat. Marseille, of course, they would want to get back to winning ways, and I think this is the best opportunity. And as I say, this is the last game before the international break, so they're gonna make sure that they get a win before they go out to international duty. And I think Angers are the best opponents for them. Unfortunately for Angers, I think they are gonna suffer a defeat, and a huge defeat in my opinion. I'm going for a 4-0 thumping by Marseille. The next game is Saint Etienne versus Auxerre. It is 17 versus 14th. Now Saint Etienne, they drew last weekend against Nantes, which I thought was quite surprising results. I thought Nantes would go on to win that game, but they were not able to get to the finish line. It has been the story of Nantes this season. They play good football, but they are not just able to get those wins, and they are dropping points. Saint Etienne, on the other hand, their season has not gone according to plan. They are 17. They have just won once in the last 6 games till now. They drew last weekend, as I said, against Nantes, and they would want to finish go to the international break with a win, but they are playing against an Auxerre side who I think, even though they have just won twice in their 6 games, a couple of games, like they should have won a couple of more games with the way that they played. I really like the way that they play attacking football, direct attacking football. They don't really like to defend that much, even though you would think that a team coming from a League 2, they would want to make sure that they stay in the league, and they would want to be a team like who likes to play defensive football. But Auxerre are not like that, and I like that about them. And I think even though they are the away side, Saint Etienne, I think their performances have been not that good, and I think Auxerre, they won on the opening day, and then after that there were 4 continuous defeats for them, and they won last weekend against Brest, a 3-0 convincing win for them. And I think they are gonna continue their winning form in this game as well. I think they go into the international break with a win. I think it will be a close game, but I think Auxerre are gonna go ahead and win this one. I'm going for a 2-1 away win for Auxerre. Moving on to the next game, it's Lille versus Toulouse. It's 5th versus 15th. Now Lille have had sort of up and down season till now. But the last couple of weeks have been really good for them. They won a 3-0 last weekend against Ligue. I think it was quite a convincing performance, a good away win for them. And then in midweek in the Champions League, they defeated Real Madrid 1-0. So the confidence is going to be sky high at the moment in that camp. They are playing against a Toulouse side who are 15th at the moment. Nothing is really working for them. They lost last weekend against Lyon 2-1. I thought that was going to be a draw because both those teams have not really performed perform that much, but Lyon were able to get the win, and Toulouse lost again. They have now lost three times in the last 5 games, two consecutive losses, and I think it is gonna be three consecutive losses for them. Lille, they are playing at home again, and I think with the confidence that they have had for the last couple of weeks, including that big win against Real Madrid in the Champions League, they are gonna be really up for it. And again, that I think that going into the international break with a win is gonna play a big role in this, and I think Lille in the end are gonna win it convincingly. I'm going for a 2-0 win for Lille. The next game is Rennes versus Monaco. It's 10th versus 2nd in the league. Now Rennes, they have not had a good start to the season. The first couple of games they looked really good, but it has been a downhill slide from then on, and their performances have dropped down quite horribly, to be very honest with you. They are not really performing to the level that was expected of them. They are playing a Monaco side who are 2nd in the league, who are still undefeated, one of the 3 teams who are still undefeated in the league. They are joint top with PSG, and I think the way they are playing, as I say, they are undefeated, 4 wins out of the last 5, 3 continuous wins as well. So they are in a really good form. Even though they are going to be the away team, I still think they are gonna go ahead and get the win, because Rennes, they are not playing a good football. And I always say that you can lose by playing good football, but Rennes at the moment their performances are not good. The way they are playing the football is also not good, and they are not getting the results as well. And I think it is gonna continue in this game as well. I think it might end up being a close game, because Monaco are away, and Rennes would want to give their fans something to cheer about. They would want to give a good fight back for their fans, but I think Monaco will nick it. I'm going for a 2-1 away win for Monaco. The next game is Lyon versus Nantes. It's 11 versus 7, and now Lyon did not really have a good start in the first couple of weeks. They won then they won a game, and then again it has not been a good start for them, and then they won the game last week. So it has been quite an up and down start to the season, mostly down. Like, their performances are not good as well, with the amount of money that they spend and the players they already have in the squad. I think their squad is really good. The expectations were really high that they are going to finish in that top 4 spot, try to get into that Champions League, but the performances till now have been really disappointing. They won last weekend against Toulouse 2-1. It was very important for them to win. I really did not think that they were going to win. I went for a draw in that game, but they somehow got the win, so it was important for them. They are playing against a known side who, to be very honest with you, have been and they have constantly dropped the points where they shouldn't have. Like they are almost like now they have had 3 draws now, and there are 2 draws in which they could have easily gone ahead and won those games. They were on the lead for majority of the time, and then they throw it away. The concentration level of that team is not really there, and I think that is something that the manager needs to work on, because it is now really becoming a problem for them. A couple of weeks ago they were in the top 3, top 4, and now they are slowly sliding down, because they keep constantly dropping points where they should be easily winning. The last couple of games, both of them they should have won, but they both ended up in draws, and that is now becoming a problem. As I said before, this game, I think Lyon, that the way that they are playing, you don't really know what type of performance they are going to give. They are at home as well, and you would assume that with the squad that they have, they should be able to easily win against Nantes. But as I said, you don't really trust Lyon and Nantes themselves. Like if I have to say the performances from the last couple of weeks, I would have said that Nantes should win this game. But again, they keep on from minimal positions, they go on and they drop the points. That is why I'm not going with either of them. I'm going for a draw. I think it will be a high scoring game. I think it will be a high scoring draw. Nantes played last weekend a 2-2 draw, and I think it is going to be the same result again between Lyon and Nantes. I'm going for a 2-2 draw. The next game is Reims versus Montpellier. It is a fourth versus 15th. Now Reims have had a great start to the season. They have played 6 games. They lost on the opening day, but after that they have been incredible. Undefeated in their last 5 games. 4 of them have been wins, so they are on a really good position at the moment. They won last weekend as well, quite an easy win for them. They are playing against a Montpellier side who are 16th at the moment and are struggling really badly. They have lost 4 out of their last 5 games, and they lost last weekend as well against Monaco. It was quite an easy win for Monaco in the end. And the performances have been really bad from Montpellier. I really did not think they were going to have such a bad season. I predicted them to finish in a mid-table, but I never saw them doing this bad. Rams on the other hand, like, they have been really good, and I don't think anybody expected them to do this good before the start of the season. So in my opinion, they are exceeding expectations at the moment, and they could be the Brest of this season. Last year, Brest was the team that nobody expected to do this good, but they ended up going into the Champions League. And Rams this season, even though they are a better like, no disrespect to Brest, but they are a more established club, Rams, as compared to Brest, but still nobody thought that they would go on. And the way that they are playing at the moment, it looks like they are going to compete for those Champions League places, let alone the European places, because they are playing really good football. This weekend again, they are at home, they are playing a struggling Montpellier, and I don't see any other result apart from Rams a win. And they would love to get a win and go into the international break with such a good form. And I'm gonna back it. I think it will be quite a convincing 3-0 win for Rams. The next game is Strasbourg versus Lens. It's 8th versus 6th. Now Strasbourg, they have had a slow start to the season, but they are slowly catching up. They have now risen to 8th spot in the table, and their performances have been really good. As I said, they had a slow start, but they are slowly getting the results, and they have gotten at the 8th position in the table. They defeated Marseille last weekend, which was a huge win for them. As I said, I really did not think that was gonna happen. They are now undefeated in their last 3 games, which includes 2 wins. So the momentum is with them at the moment. They are playing against a Lens side, who are the 3rd team in the Ligue at the moment, who are undefeated. But the thing with Lens is they won their first 2 games, and after that the last 4 games have been draws. They drew against Nice last weekend as well. So there is a bit of the problem is there that they are not getting the wins. Even though they are undefeated, they are not able to get the points that would push them into the top. At the top, they are 6th at the moment, but these draws are not gonna keep them at the top for longer periods of time. They need to get the wins, and the incentive for Strasbourg would be really, they are just a point behind Lens, so they know that if they can get the win this weekend, they can overtake them, and they can be in the top 6, top 5 come the end of the weekend. So that is a big incentive for Strasbourg. And just before the international break, I think that is going to be huge for them. So I think it is, and Strasbourg are at home as well. So last weekend as well, Strasbourg played a team that was undefeated before that, and they came to their house, and Strasbourg ended their undefeated streak in Marseille. So I think they are gonna be looking to do the same thing again, and I think they are gonna succeed in that. In doing that, I am going for a 2-1 win for Strasbourg, and I think they win this game, and they end Lens undefeated streak. Moving on to the next game, it's Brest versus Ligue. It's 13th versus 14th. Now both these teams have played 6 games. They have won twice, but they have lost 4 games. But the performances of both these teams have been completely different. Both of them lost last weekend 3-0 respectively. Brest lost to Auxerre 3-0, and Ligue lost to Lille. Now the thing is, Brest have been the team that have been really inconsistent. The wins that they have had, I think their performances were not that good. The teams playing them against them were even worse than that, and even the games that they have lost, they have been really bad in those games. And I think the drop off has been massive. Everybody expected them to drop from the last season. They are playing in the Champions League, so you could say that is having an effect, and everybody expected them to have that effect. And again, they played in the Champions League this weekend as well, so they are going to be tired again this weekend. They are playing against a Ligue side, who I think in a way before, up until last week, I would say they were really unfortunate in some of those games where they were they were a better side, but they were not able to get the win, get over the line. Last weekend they were really bad. I think Lille were really good in that game, and Ligue were not able to get anything out of that game. But this weekend, I think Brest are gonna suffer, against Ligue, because they like to play really fast attacking football, and our Brest players, they are gonna be tired. It's going to be their a third game in almost 1 week, and if you count before that, so they have been playing consistent football, and I think they don't have that a big enough score that they are gonna, the fatigue is starting to come in, and I think they are gonna suffer another defeat just before the international break. And I think Ligue are finally gonna get a win after the 4 continuous defeats. I think this is gonna be the game that they go ahead and get that win. I think it might end up being a close game, but I just don't see Brest getting the win. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Ligue. And the last game of this weekend is Nice versus PSG. It is ninth versus first. Now Nice is one of those teams that people expected to be at the top, to challenge PSG for the title, but their performances have been quite up and down. 6 games played, 2 wins, 2 defeats, 2 draws, so they are not really able to get the momentum, get into the rhythm that they can go on a long a winning streak and get their points and try to get closer to PSG. They won they drew last weekend as well against Lille as well. So I think that is against Lens, sorry. So I think that is something that they need to look at. They need to try and get over the lines and make sure that they get the win. I think in this game, if I'm being very honest with you, I don't think they are gonna go ahead and look for the win. I think their thing is gonna be, this is a game just before the international break, and PSG is coming at their house. They are gonna make sure that they don't lose the game. I think that is gonna be their strategy, if I'm being very honest with you. PSG on the other hand was still undefeated. They got back to winning ways last weekend, winning 3-1 against Rennes. So they would want to finish this term of football before going to the international break. They would want to finish it on a high and with a win, and I think they are going to be able to do it. I think Nice, even though they are going to try their hardest, I just don't see them stopping PSG for winning this game. I think it is going to be the same scoreline that they won last weekend with. I think PSG win this game 3-1 and get all 3 points, and they remain at the top of the table by the end of the month of September, at the end of game week 7 as well. So yeah, that is it for me. These are my predictions for game week 7 of Liga. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What are your predictions? Do you agree with my predictions? Whatever you want to say, you can say it in the comments below. We will see at the end of the weekend how many of my predictions were correct and how many of them I got wrong, and we're going to accumulate and see how many points I have made till now. 3 points for each correct prediction, 2 points if the prediction is right but the score is not wrong. So please go ahead and play with me this weekend. Of course, we're gonna have that international break, so we are gonna see week by week, the 7 weekends, how I have done, how many points I have accumulated each weekend. So we will see how I am doing, and we'll see that video is going to be quite interesting as well. So yeah, like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 400 subscribers by the end of this month, so please go ahead and subscribe and help us grow quickly, so we can go ahead and make more content for you. International break is coming on, so I'm going to focus on international break as well. International football, world qualification, a lot of games are going to come, so different type of content is going to come which doesn't really come during the season. So please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of this. Until next time, bye bye.